MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by climate change.
Spend your summer at Camp MaJaMa, where new hobbies and new friends are just around the bend.
And don't forget to inflict pain on Alan.
Dive into our beautiful lake for a swim or set sail in a canoe.
And don't forget to inflict pain on Alan.
How about archery? Set your sights on the target and let her rip.
And don't forget to inflict pain on Alan.
Interested in art? Learn how to craft a special and unique souvenir for your family. Enjoy the new clay bidet, Dad.
And don't forget to inflict pain on Alan.
Or maybe you just want to trek off into untamed wilderness. Hiking, rock climbing, and bird watching are just some of the outdoor activities we offer.
And don't forget to inflict pain on Alan.
Join our counselors for our annual overnight hike and sleep under the stars after learning how to
Inflict pain on Alan.
Whatever you strive to achieve this summer, make sure you
Inflict pain on Alan. And don't forget to inflict pain
Everyone's always picking on me!
on Alan.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
I hate that shit. My nerves. Dang. Always bothering me. Yeah, I hate this place. Motherfucker! What the fuck?
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And we are back for the third installment of our Halloween spooktacular here in our brand new Halloween MaJaMa in Pajamas slumber party pit. And all week long, all month long, for 4 weeks, should I say, we are celebrating the spooky season with you guys with 4 movies this year as last. And we really have a strong lineup of shit. No more so than what we're about to get into today.
Is that a bad thing?
Sitting on the floor here, covered in a blanket and paper, surrounded by our friends, and we have something for you guys that, in my personal opinion, is the biggest piece of shit we've ever watched on this show, whether the episodes we practiced for it in film or the ones that went up on the internet. Now
Don't
it looks like
tell people we practiced. It's much more embarrassing and pathetic. Don't tell them about yesterday either.
yesterday when I was locked in the house with the guys, as I have been for 2 friggin' months. This is terrible.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
We're going to get into the history of it because I still don't understand, because these two who have seen this, and there's a catchphrase from it, which we'll get into, that I've heard for years. Now, Matthew over here and Mateo also have the Sleepaway Camp box set. It's a horror franchise with 5 installments.
No, well, actually, is the box set. I got it first, and there were only 3. He got it after that, and there was an extra disc with scenes from the 4th one. Yes, with nothing inside. And then they made the 5th one, which I was lucky to get on Blu-ray because, yeah.
That's awesome.
Listen, this.
But technically, this comes before the 5th one. I mean, not timeline in the Sleepaway Camp universe, but in terms of our universe, which is awful.
Oh, yes.
It came out before number 5.
Yes. This one was
4.
the 4th one that they made.
Okay.
But then in the
They still didn't stop.
after that, no, and after that they did the 4th one, which technically should be. It was shot partially before this one.
Why would they use that footage?
They're
50 years later.
They're desperate. They.
I
don't
mean,
know.
like, it's if I remember correctly, it's.
Hold on.
Oh, all right.
Because there's going to be a lot to get into, and I want to do the history because, like I said, I'm still in the dark. So,
Like, you're going to pay attention now.
I'm always going to pay attention to my own show. When I watch it back, an audience of 1 fueling all of the views. Now listen. Technically, this is the 4th Sleepaway Camp. I've been pitched this for a while. It sounded enthralling to watch as the typical bad horror movie for the Jam Spooktacular, and I regret every second of it. It was terrible. It was awful. There was nothing to cling on to. It was boring, shrill, irritating, poorly shot, incompetent, horrible, abrasive, unfun, uncreative, uninspired, cash grabby. Mateo, please start to break down why this is actually 5 but 4
that,
but 3.
did you like it?
This is such an awful movie. But I want to know first, okay, so they shot this in 1986, unearthed the footage in 92, pulled it out of
It was
a
buried
dead
underground for a
corpse
few
in
years.
2002. What is the story, man? Fill me in. I have no idea what happened with this. This is a weird-ass timeline.
Honestly, Frank, I don't know what he's talking about.
So, in 1983, they did the original Sleepaway Camp.
Which is great.
And at that point, it was...
Funny enough, it's my least favorite of the trilogy.
The official trilogy,
The
yes.
official trilogy, yes.
It's all right, but it was a time where...
You'd like it for the last scene.
Yes,
You'd love it, I bet.
you would lick the screen.
You get off on that sort of thing.
Anyways,
It's gross.
There's a really good punchline there, and once again, I wasn't quick enough.
It's not a joke at all.
no.
It's a problem. And it's illegal.
What's the last scene?
You know what the last scene is.
I'll-
Who doesn't know what the last scene from Sleepaway Camp is? Whether you've seen it or
the
not.
dick?
It's the dick.
Oh.
and not Dick Miller. So,
I would prefer Dick Miller.
yes.
Dangling from Angela's genitals.
It was the Gremlins!
She's a boy.
So, Halloween came out in 1978, huge success, and it brought in. It was starting to grow the movement of the slasher movie, but Halloween was the one that brought it front and center, and they say, "Oh, this is a genre. It's not only thriller or whodunit or something. This is actually, I don't know why I did this. It's a stab. Then they did Friday the 13th, which upended the genre by doing, probably for the first time in a movie, the fact that the parents arrive and...
How are you? Well, I'm Mrs. Voorhees, an old friend of the Christies.
Oh, thank you. That's so great.
No. There, dear. Now, look, I can't help you if you don't calm down.
But
please.
she's dead and he's dead and oh my God, poor Bill. Oh God.
All right. Come on, dear, then show me.
No.
Usually, up till that point, when the parents arrive, you're saying, "Oh, we're safe," and instead is the parent who is the killer.
Spoiler alert.
We have it at the beginning of the show, so
That's true.
Have what?
The spoiler word.
that
Oh.
we have spoiler.
And it's got a picture of a cute shark next to it.
And look, there's a picture of a cute shark drawn on it.
Plus, it brought also the supernatural element of Jason being alive, no matter what. And so they were trying to top each other up with more outrageous and surprising and twist ending, kind of like a pre-Shyamalan.
What? You believe this crap?
And so Sleepaway Camp, it starts as a slasher with this Angela girl who is very socially awkward.
Ah, Ricky, how you doing?
Oh, great to see you.
Good winner?
You know, same old shit. Hey, this is my cousin Angela.
How you doing?
She's kind of shy, I guess. You know, first time away from home and all. Listen, I gotta take her down to a bunk, so I'll catch you down the hill, okay?
You got it.
Because she has lost her brother in a freaking boat accident.
I think you meant a freak boat.
What?
I think you meant a freak boat accident.
Oh, you know.
Freak boat accident.
Oh, it's funny. I thought that was a quote from the movie. That's why I was saying that. We lost him in a freaking boat accident.
Angela.
And it turns out that at the end, Angela is not Angela, but is Peter, her brother.
And she's got a Peter.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
And she got a, yes,
That's the part I'm talking about that you like.
yes. And
know why? Because your mental issues.
So
You're saying I like dick.
Child dick.
Why is it a child?
Because it's a child.
because unlike this movie where some of the campers were in their 40s, that actually had teen-ish
genitals.
No, but it was. They were actually age appropriate.
Yeah.
The actors
like
who were
kids.
playing the kids.
Yo, Angela, how come you're so fucked up? I mean, like, what's your problem?
Hey, dick face, leave her alone.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do about it, asshole?
Well, actually, now thinking about it, whose dick was that? Was it a real dick?
Yes. They got, apparently they got a kid, they gave him a mask of a photo of Felissa Rose. And they gave him also half a bottle of booze, so he was, I don't care. And
Is this
yes,
a joke?
no, it's how they shot the.
They got a kid drunk and pulled his pants down?
Yes.
And filmed it?
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How old?
I guess legal age, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
So.
Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
I mean, then again, who the hell knows?
What is this, behind the scenes on a Baby Driver?
A Hollywood film?
Yes. Then, since that movie had fairly decent success and it became a cult afterwards, especially with the advent of home video.
And homosexuality.
Yes. No, actually, it became a little bit. No, it became.
Doesn't deserve that much of a laugh.
It became
And yeah, it's good.
used in the community about the gender affirming because Angela throughout the movie is a girl, but then the twist ending is that it was her brother. The real Angela had drowned in the freaking boat accident.
Listen, you guys are making inside jokes now. I like it.
What are you talking about?
You're laughing at the line from the movie I haven't seen.
No,
What line?
no,
What are you
it's not
talking
a
about?
line from the movie.
What line?
You keep saying freaking boat accident.
No, it sounds funny.
I repeat it because it made him laugh.
Listen, I've been in this business a long time, and believe me, I've seen much worse tantrums than that.
We now return to MaJaMa.
All right, no, we gotta get to the. I want to start getting to this.
But
We don't
then,
have to get to anything.
but then
There's nothing to really discuss.
they did the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 with a different actress playing Angela,
Which are amazing.
They're very, very.
which was
Fun.
What's your problem? You and kids like you. Very funny. I didn't think you'd fall for it. You're dumber than I thought. Yeah? Well, you're more f***ed up than I thought. Stop it! Why are you doing this to me? Because you're a cheerleader, a fornicator, a drug taker, a nasty, snotty bigot, and besides that, you're real nice.
Total pinnacle 80s
was,
horror that's just so
was named-
rewatchable and fun.
Yeah.
Patricia Springsteen.
Is it?
Pamela Springsteen.
Well, I
I'm
like
sorry,
him.
Pamela Springsteen.
Yeah.
The sister of the boss.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. And then they did this, which ignores. It's kind of like they pull a Halloween 2018. They ignored all the Halloweens in between, and so this one ignores, as if it matters, because there is absolutely nothing to connect them.
Okay, but the timeline, the original trilogy is entirely contained in the 80s.
Yes.
And this is one of those mega gap sequels.
Wait, I'm 83, the first one. Yes, I think that the second and third are 88 and 89.
Oh, that close, yeah?
I think they're like that, yes.
Is that a bad thing?
So then when was this actually filmed? Because I know there's a gap.
Yes, this one was filmed in 2003 with the idea of releasing it theatrically.
Can you imagine paying a theater ticket price for this?
Yes. And instead, I'm clever and I got it on Blu-ray.
So it's 3 years before it came out.
Yes, because they kept on saying that whatever
we don't know what to do, guys. I'm sorry.
The CGI effects were unsatisfactory.
Hi, I've been going over the footage you gave me. This is a real movie? This is a prank, right? Is this punked? You seen the Ashton Kutcher show? This is punked, right? Okay, so we're up to speed.
Wait, let's do very quickly before we start talking.
Yeah, shut up, man.
The story is this.
I was about to go to the story.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the plot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
at a summer camp.
We have Alan, our lead, and the confusing thing is the movie is pretty much a fetish film where someone gets off on torturing kids.
But it's not like
we spend 90 minutes hyper fixated. No joke, this is not a hyperbolic comedic description. It is a fetish film for kid bullying where for 90 minutes we're hyper fixated on Alan, which in retrospect is nothing but red herring the movie so that in the final 30 seconds, in the final 30 seconds, we can reveal an obvious plot twist.
No, it's not obvious at all.
I even forgot this time.
Which renders the entire movie...
I was shocked.
Okay, answer me this. What is the point of Alan?
Alan. Yeah, exactly.
Alan is...
I think we're supposed to...
No,
we're supposed to have some sort of kinship and connection to Alan, but they make him such a disgusting, gross, unlikable weirdo.
Stuff sucks. I want something else to eat.
Too bad.
I can't eat this junk. I'll throw up.
Then you'll throw up. Now eat the chicken before I shove it down your throat.
No. You eat it.
That you like, okay, well, he should be getting his ass kicked.
I don't completely agree.
But like you're supposed to be able to like kind of sympathize with him because Angela in the first one, she's just very quiet.
Yes.
And she's a little bit awkward, but she's just kind of quiet and like, all right, everyone's just really messing with her when there's really no need to go.
And to a degree, you kind of like care for her.
Yeah. She seems sweet.
Hiya, Angela. How's it going?
Okay. How's it going with you?
Could be better. Your cousin just whipped me in tennis.
And it's kind of like they try to get that with the frogs, but that's really all you have to latch onto.
Funny, that moved like it was almost all one connected piece. Shut up. Well, what I'm saying is that not only do we get this hyperfixation on endlessly, relentlessly tormenting Alan by every member of the camp,
including
staff,
the counselor
or members, or campers.
Hey, what's that on your shirt? What? Ow!
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Let go! Oh, you fucking bastard!
And then it's supposed to be a red herring for Felissa. What's the name of the movie? Angela being back. But that means,
high school.
That means that she just came back like, I'm going to get revenge to kill people no matter what. Also, at the same time, there's a kid getting the bullying of his life. That has nothing to do with the plot of this movie.
She's standing up for Alan because at the very end, she gives her big speech that we don't see her. As she's walking through the woods, and she says, "You can't just pick on people."
They never learn, do they? They have to be so mean all the time. They think they can do whatever they want to you and get away with it. But they didn't know I was here, did they? I've been waiting a long time for this. A long time. In the end, they all get what they deserve.
I knew it was you.
Yeah.
Also, it's
not to mention that Angela is size petite, and Alan is size extra large,
and
we're supposed to
Scream 6.
So let's
or 5.
Before.
little girl suddenly is
Oh,
talking
yes,
doing
yes,
it.
yes.
Yes, today.
It's unforgivable. She'd have to be attacking someone in platform boots
Plus-
that are this thick.
So
Do you understand? I liked Scream 5 until he said that, and then all of a sudden it was like a drain
No,
was pulled.
no,
I seriously, I walked out liking it. I wasn't enthralled, but I walked out liking it. And you said that, and it was like a drain that was pulled where everything went down because it means that a young teenage girl is dressing up as Ghostface in shoes that have to be about that
wasn't
much
even
of a
my most
platform heel and
egregious
beating the
thing
crap out of
about
a
it.
seasoned veteran cop who's done this
Yeah, but that's
4 times. So we just trash this kid for the whole movie in an absolutely relentless way. And Quentin Tarantino talks about he was inspired to make Django because at the end
He was involved with this?
Because it's so much fun, Jan. Get it?
Because at the end of Roots,
he was the kid.
When the
you know, kind
when-
of same snub pug nose.
Quentin doesn't have a pug nose.
He's got a weird nose.
Yes.
Looks like a giant overinflated baby head.
Just about the
Quentin talks about at the end of Roots when the character gets the slave master on the opposing thing and he's got the whip and he's about to hit him, but it's
He
like
directed Roots?
It's
Are you kidding?
it works and it shows me what it's like to talk to me, but God, just every line, it's like here's a punchline.
What?
It's great. All right, it's fine. So he talks about how at the end of
trying
Roots,
to do a
when,
show here, man.
when
What are you
the
talking
guy
about?
gets the whip to the slave master, but he's like, I'm not gonna hit him because that would put me on his level, and how the whole audience was like, oh, come on. And so he wanted to make Django where Django goes bloody revenge at the end, gets that cathartic scene. It's very odd language to have a kid get tormented the entire movie in this type of movie. But then because you're desperate to bring back your lead from 4 movies ago for 2 seconds at the end, you have her do the killing, and we never get to... I understand she's standing up for him, but the DNA... It would be like doing I Spit on Your Grave, and then at the end, when she goes for revenge, she just gets the shit kicked out of her again. It's like, okay, that kind of defeats the DNA of this type of movie. Like, you can't hyper-fixate on Alan getting the crap kicked out of him, and then it's just like, yeah...
But
and then
Alan is a different character than Angela.
This movie is so bad, dude.
Well, we need to first set up that
it's so terrible. It's so horrible.
We meet the sheriff who's there to talk to the kids about the dangers of smoking and cannot speak properly because he's got throat cancer.
Hey, why are you talking like that?
I'm glad you asked. After 35 years of smoking, I lost my larynx to cancer.
Hey, dude. Can you play Intergalactic on that thing?
Maybe later.
And that needs to use an assisted.
Yeah, vocalizer.
Did we give Mateo The Night They Saved Christmas with Jacqueline Smith?
No.
We have it,
We have
obviously. In The Night They Saved Christmas with Jacqueline Smith, which may be good for Christmas.
That's a weird title.
That's not...
The night they say Christmas with Jacqueline Smith.
It's the only way they're getting people to watch this TV movie in
Well,
1984.
after all, there is a Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas. So.
That's very true. So they have elves that are played by both men and women, little people, and the
not okay.
and the women have on these they've
been doing that for
very wispy
years
fake
in Hollywood.
beards that look obviously like a thing. And you guys are gonna laugh because it didn't occur. I was so flabbergasted by this movie that I didn't zero in on it. But the
second she comes on screen,
the 3'11" cop who looks like she's dying of leukemia and has that wispy, like clearly fake beard, and then talks like this,
wearing sunglasses.
Okay,
giant prosthetic nose.
Matthew made something that perfectly sums this up.
I didn't make anything.
This movie treats its characters the way it treats its camp characters the way Wet Hot American Summer treats its characters, but it's not a parody movie. It's being honest. But again, I sometimes I feel the need to stress that that's not the standard comedic hyperbole. It legitimately treats its characters the way Wet Hot does, but it's being serious. Like the stoner kid's like, oh, what, bro? I just found I'm rolling up a joint of crap. How's he gonna react to that? Oh.
Dude,
That's his exact line, by the way.
Oh, what, bro? I just found I'm rolling up a joint of crap. How's he gonna react to that? Oh.
I mean, it's actually not that far off. And everyone is just a scumbag piece of shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Garbage human being.
All right. You convinced me.
Attaboy!
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Are you kidding? Look at it. It's as sharp as a fucking spike.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't tell. It's too dark down there.
What are you talking about? I can see it perfect.
I would like to give another validation to Mateo's theories, because again, he's always talked about, like, God, these characters are unlikable, I need something to grab onto. And most times I was like, you know, I didn't see the same unlikability, I didn't have a strong reaction, even the philosophy sometimes, but man, this movie, Mateo, every single, I don't agree, I'm not like likable, but I think Alan isn't, I felt something for him, I don't agree he was completely ugh.
Okay.
But every other character is just wildly,
Wardrobe. He never washes his
heartlessly
shirt.
despicable. And the thing is, you give us, what, one girl, I'm just she's a counselor, who's like, come on, Alan, oh my God, stop it. Literally, everyone else takes relish in this. And I understand you don't need exactly a realistic tone, but you make the people that run the camp just like kicking the kid also and like laughing about it.
Yeah.
Boys, wedgie!
And I've never felt the Mateo argument more. There's like nothing to grab onto here.
You don't do anything with her character, who, when she's throughout the entire film kind of trying to protect Alan, you don't even really flesh her out.
You don't flesh out anyone.
Other than, well, yes, but her like running to Alan's assistance. And then there's the one scene where the old camp counselor, the spray tanned.
Hey, come on! I think Angela's coming back.
Hair dyed Jim Guido from, I'm assuming, 2 or 3, or the first one maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
He accuses her of being Angela, even though she's clearly a 22-year-old girl, 18-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Ronnie.
Who are you really? Where do you come from, huh?
Ronnie, you're scaring me.
Every single time Alan gets in trouble, there you are, Johnny on the spot. Why is that, Petey? Huh? Why?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Peter? No, wait. It's not Peter, is it? No. It's Angela!
Ronnie, stop it!
But there's nothing that even pays off with that. Like, he's
No.
an accident killer, or there's no mob attack, but...
Because as we were discussing while watching the movie, because this is one of those movies that grips you, so you're really focused on that. These movies usually have, if they have despicable characters, they have a lot of death. And
if
instead,
they give us that, I would be at least...
yes.
Thank you.
And instead, for the first hour and something, there are 2 murders.
Which feel, you feel like 2 murders an hour. Like they are sparse within just an orgy of abuse. It's just bullying.
Actually,
it's bullying the movie.
You think, you say, oh, here we go. Because you can say, okay, fine, there are 20 minutes of introduction, whatever, and stuff. Then there is the first murder.
Let me fucking down! Let me down,
And you say, okay, here we go. Then the second one is a little too late. But then there is about 40 minutes of nothing. And then we get, I think, to the couple in the woods with the...
That's the next one, yeah.
That's the following one.
Get me out of this thing. What is this, a joke? Untie me. Get this. What are you doing?
And then there are 2 or 3 fairly close one to the other. You see very little because of special effects. Apparently, they were not part of this world.
You know what this movie is? It's Terrifier when Art gets to his victim, it cuts to black.
Yes.
And you're like, why does this exist then? Am I wrong that this is the and as towards the end, like I said, I started to like We get a couple that I like, but then the execution is just like fade to black, so it's like, what's the point? We get a couple
Don't
towards
you
the end.
hate it when a
and-
movie's attacks always just fade to black? You never get to see any gore or any kind of blood splatter. God, I can imagine that.
Got it. What is it verbatim? Got to be the least amount of blood ever shown in a shark movie is a comment on Letterboxd. However, in a positive review, decently positive review otherwise.
No, but it's the approach of the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi, the Universal one, where they couldn't show the contact of the. I mean, he doesn't even have the canines, so. But he would always go close to a woman and it would fade to black or would step out of the scene.
Was that because of the drug abuse?
No, simply just like it was too.
That's weird. They didn't even give him fangs.
Nope.
I am Dracula.
It was considered too erotic, the contact of him like that. And even when Van Helsing stabs him with the wooden stick, pole, whatever it is.
Steak.
Steak. Thank you.
Steak.
Steak,
Stupid.
Stick. See, stick. Yeah, look, stick, stupid. That's a stick, boy. Look at this. Yes. You like your stick? Go on, get it. And no wonder you're extinct.
Even that, it goes to him, it cuts to other people, and then it goes away. So the actual impaling happens off screen.
Nina!
So this movie is like that, especially most noticeable with the Vincent Pastore death.
Oh,
here are the rats! Ah! Black.
So they get the...
And that's a big bag, and there's like clearly a lot of movement, and then she puts 2 rats in the cage.
They do the...
Small rats.
They couldn't even afford 3 rats.
Oh my God!
So they do that. They set up Vincent Pastore, who I hope was either desperate or was like 75% of the budget was given to him. No, forgive me. 75% of the budget was the final skinned effect. Also, please tell me they didn't actually skin a frog, you
Dude,
sick
of course they did.
bastards.
Dude, look how many frogs are.
I hate that shit, but it was
are
alive,
killed
dude.
for high schools.
Okay, I don't like
well,
that.
I mean, yes, it could have been, but a lot of times there's still movement after they've been killed.
No! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Hypersensitivity. So, yes, Vincent Pastore.
At least it's not Tintorera.
Oof. Or Milo Minotis. Vincent Pastore is a complete cut to Black Death, which should have been amazing. And
I mean, you get to see the aftermath.
Yeah.
At least that, but it's, again, it seems philosophically like the only reason this should exist is the kick-ass deaths. I actually don't feel that way about Terrifier because I like Terrifier, but Terrifier is a highlight for the deaths, so therefore that's why I make the example. If you take those out, it's like, what are we doing here?
Here we go again.
Is horrible across the board. It is so terrible. It is so boring and unlikable and pointless.
And also there is one thing that is never addressed.
Does their asses really stink that bad?
Yes.
Oh my God, we haven't even gotten to your ass stinks.
Your ass stinks. Your ass stinks. Your ass stinks.
Which I didn't realize was going to be repeated about 10 times.
How's it?
Between him and the cockatiel.
Your ass stinks. Isn't that what Alan always says? Your ass stinks.
It's about 10 times that it gets.
You scratched my foot. It's got an itch.
What a douche!
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm trying to pee here. Hey, you want to loosen it up a little? I gotta breathe, you know. That hurt.
Sorry, you were gonna make a point.
So Angela goes to that camp, and she knows that there is an Alan over there. She knows.
Or
that
she figures that
she has to take the defense of some.
Or she just wants revenge.
Yeah, but
when she gets very close.
You need a hand, miss?
Yes, please. Okay, I have this leak, and this is my boyfriend's
A leak?
car.
What's the matter? You got a flat? Okay, calm down. Give me a second here.
Then that's it. He's gonna kill me.
I'm looking at it.
You have no idea.
Yeah, you got.
This is his car.
You got a brake leak. You can't drive this car.
I have to drive this car.
You
Please.
can't drive
You
the
don't
car.
understand how f***ed I'll be if I don't.
So we see an after credit scene where
at least that I have to say.
You're happy they at least made the effort?
Yes, at least they made the effort to explain how she got the uniform and the
because the
police
cop,
car.
of course, the first thing he does is runs to you if your car is pulled over and jump directly underneath your car.
Immediately.
Well, he doesn't even have a breath to stand and talk to her and say, hey, let's get to the side of the road. Hey, what seems to be the problem? Okay, calm down, miss. Just dives right underneath the car and starts checking it out.
Yes.
And then stays there for the entire duration of her manic screaming about her boyfriend is going to be so mad at her.
And ironically, that is one of the best deaths, is the most explicit one.
Yeah.
And it's relegated to a post-credit scene.
Please, you have to understand. I have to get it home.
Well,
if I don't get fucking killed.
Who's gonna kill you?
Okay, my boyfriend.
Forget about your boyfriend. Look, call him. Take a
like-
cab.
But then how do you, so you get the officer's uniform, which is now, I'm sure, soaked in blood.
Of course. And luckily enough, help! I need help. Send an officer, possibly petite.
Yeah.
Because.
Oh yeah, well she's
And then you get.
Yeah, it was a bulky man.
So then you get into the Jeep, which is obviously registered and is tracked by the police.
And apparently
how long
nobody-
are you
Yes.
pretending to be a sheriff? Do you just go to the camp? You just roll up there and say, hey, I'd like to talk to the kids about the dangers of smoking. I have cancer myself.
Yeah, probably.
So I mean, it could all happen very fast.
And it's not even clear how long is the actual period, because there are at least 2 nights, if not
Yes.
more. Because there is the first night when the druggy kid gets burned.
Which is actually the only shot on the back of the box.
Yes.
And it's
for
of
some
just
reason.
a close-up of him with his
With the
mouth taped to
cigarette,
the
yes.
cigarette. What is it? Why? What?
See, what did I tell you? Drugs. Goddamn drugs.
You said the director of the first is the director of this, and these
Yes.
are literally the only 2 movies he's ever done?
That man deserves to be shot for his crimes.
Why?
Well, he gave us the first one, so at least that.
Yes.
Without the first one, you wouldn't have the second and the third.
Yes.
Which he ignored for this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, well, what are you doing?
Thank God there'll be one less idiot in politics.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't! Come back here!
No, okay, my next question is, you guys have both seen the first one, and I know there's a mega
It's too many.
gap.
We got to write these down.
But does the first, independent of how the movie is, does the first one come across as more competent? It's
Not really,
no?
but...
It's of its time, which makes it feel
Exactly. For the 80s, it was acceptable.
But if I watched the first one, do you think I would have a similar effect of, oh God, what the fuck? I mean, sounds like 2 and 3 are a blast, but would you guys say if I watched the first one, I would notice it was also kind of like a slog, and it's just kind of iconic at this point?
Maybe.
Just because this one seems so terrible, and I'm curious if you say this is this gentleman's only 2 movies, I'm like, okay, this one is one of the worst things I've ever seen. What's the first one like, as far as how it's...
The first one, once again...
It at least works?
If you're looking at with today's eyes, you say, oh my God, this is boring, and it doesn't have effects. But in 1983, it was extreme for all the deaths, all the scene, some gore, and a few interesting ideas. Although once you realize what is the twist, you also realize that the whole movie was pretty much okay. Let's get to the punchline at the end. So we actually.
Well, that was kind of my question too. With Angela in this one is disguised as the sheriff.
Yes.
So she's obviously using that to infiltrate.
Cleverly disguised. You don't see it coming at all.
It's no big deal.
She uses that.
It's like an all that character.
Yeah. So in the what's her name?
All right, kids, I'm here to break up your.
So she's doing that to obviously infiltrate the camp, I guess gain their trust and be able to commit the killings easier. But why does she go to her cousin Ronnie, or whatever his name? Body.
Sure.
Does he? I'm sorry. And that guy, does he say? What was the line I was questioning? He's like, "You're a fruit" or something. He's like, "Yeah, you know it."
What?
Something like that.
What?
He says something that sounds like he's insulting him. He's like, "Yeah, you're right," or something. You don't remember? In that scene, the guy says something that sounds like an insult, and he's like, "Yeah."
Wait. He's only in 2 scenes. So the end or the when he first?
No, when
meets
he
him?
approaches him on his tractor.
He's in a construction vehicle.
Right. Actually, Greg aced his MCATs. He approaches him in the construction vehicle. In that scene, the guy says something that there's a deleted scene in Freddy Got Fingered, which Stephen Tobolowsky is the uncle that runs the cheese sandwich factory. And
Stop bringing everything back to Freddy.
He picks up the phone with Rip Torn, and Rip Torn is irritated, doesn't want to talk to him. He goes,
Neil, you suck.
What?
You suck cock.
Well, yeah.
And it's something like that, where he says like what would normally be like a volleying back and forth.
No, I think he says something like so Angela's the cop talking to her cousin, disguised as the cop, about herself. So she's like, "Hey, so you visit Angela, but she's really Peter. She's really a boy, right? That's what you're referencing."
Yes.
You tell me the rest. I don't know.
No, that's the scene. I
don't think he's talking about. I don't think she.
No, I remember that. I remember that part. I remember that part. I could have sworn because I remember.
No, because I think that's the only thing that gets him upset.
Lines I laughed at
because he walks away.
No, he doesn't get upset. The thing is, it's as if you had the classic movie scene back and forth, like, "Oh yeah, well you're a queer," and he's like, "Well yeah, you know it."
No, I don't think that's what happened.
Right back.
Because it's something that she's like.
Well, we shall see.
Hold on. It's him saying something about correcting her cousin. He corrected his cousin, saying it's actually a boy. It's actually a boy, Peter, instead of Angela, because he's a man.
Yes.
Angela's really a man now, isn't she?
You know what? Fuck you. I gotta get back to work.
If anything else happens, I may be back.
That a threat?
No. I just might need your help.
Knock yourself out, deputy dog.
Wait a minute, that's Angela talking to the guy.
Yes.
Jesus.
Why does she go there? Does she think she can get some information from him? Does she want to know if he knows that she escaped already? Because he says I go to visit her every couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure I go to see her every few weeks. I'm the only one who goes to see her.
So it could lend itself to our idea that she steals the sheriff's car, Jeep, and goes right to the camp, and then it all happens within the course of a week. Because if he hasn't been there in 2 or 3 weeks to visit her and say hi,
because of course she knows when he goes there.
Yeah. So maybe that's why she's testing the waters to see if he knows yet to sound the alarm.
I also like the fact that they explain how she got the car and the uniform, but not how she escaped. That was a way too complicated to
you need a whole building and staff and running and lights and.
Well, how did she shows?
Shut up, idiot!
Shut up!
She shows up and says, "I'm here to talk to you about the dangers of smoking." So is she just like assuming the light? Like she had to be invited to do that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think she rolled up and was like, "Hi, Camp. I'm a police officer. I'd like to talk to your students."
I lost my larynx.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to your campers about the dangers of smoking.
I just drive around in my police cruiser, summer camp to summer camp, see if the kids
mean,
want to hear about my destroyed larynx.
Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
I'd like a word with you, sir. Am I under arrest or something?
No. It's Christmas time. There's always a lot of burglaries around the holidays. So we're just checking the neighborhood to see if everyone's taking the proper precautions, that's all.
Oh, yeah, well, we have automatic timers for our lights, locks for our doors. That's about as well as anybody can do these days, right? Did you get some eggnog or something like that?
Come on, Dad. Let's see. Eggnog?
Pizza!
Listen,
Pizza!
will you be leaving?
Pizza!
Okay.
I
What was
mean,
he?
Yeah.
it's not the most absurd thing that a cop would show up like, hey, I'd like to, you guys have an opening. I'd love to let the kids know about my throat.
Joe Pesci said that? I don't remember.
You see what I have to put up with here?
But in this movie, there are the most noticeable things are, I think that it's the last posthumous role of Isaac Hayes as the chef.
Nothing happens.
Nope.
What's
But
funny
because they didn't have anything.
No, we said that, and then I forgot he was in it because he's in so quick and just leaves.
Yeah.
You said that was like 60 years before they shot that,
Pretty
just holding on like,
Yes.
hey, Isaac Hayes was running through the woods. I got some footage in case we ever do a camp movie.
It's like a wonderful scene.
Was that a scene or was he trying to escape?
He's running away from the camera, but I got it.
Tight-ass motherfucker.
There is a fantastic sequence that demonstrates all the grace and the believability of an actress who shows the word how to faint.
Oh, yes. That was probably the highlight of the movie.
No, the other is the last shot.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Why do you think the director wanted to make this movie?
Money.
You don't think he wanted to bring his character back and felt?
If he did, then he deserves to die even more.
If it took him 20 years to make this as a sequel, and that's the best idea you can come up
I mean,
with.
it is obviously the classic Carrie story, but you actually have sympathy for Carrie. You see how much she's afflicted at home too, and at school, and then why she so kind of has these fears and this kind of awkwardness ingrained in her. And then you kind of have it crescendo to a point where she gets revenge. But Alan this whole time is just messed with, picked on in a horrible, and they keep just like you think the worst thing happens to him, and then they just take it another step further, and they just keep picking at him.
Well,
and he doesn't even get any sort of revenge.
If you watch a fetish flick, there's no plot because you're meant to hyperfixate on something. So like a foot fetish video, there's not going to be a plot. She's going to be like, and now she steps on a bunch of cream corn. Oh God. But like that's what I'm saying is that this movie is vile because
I don't understand how you like cream corn.
Okay, that was actually brought up the other day at a stoplight when we were walking to the AMC.
Eating it or
the
stepping
other
on
year, years ago.
I'd
I'd
rather step on it than eat it. But
okay.
So to have Alan be this abused with no, I mean, I guess you could say the motivation is she's getting revenge for him, but to have, it really feels like what Quentin was talking about. You have LeVar Burton get his ass kicked the whole movie, and then I understand you want to make the point, don't get down there, but there's no cathartic like, it's like you can't just have Alan be crapped on excessively, horrifically, with nothing else to the movie but that, and it's just like, and then in the end...
Did you consciously choose the link foot fetish films and Quentin Tarantino in the same?
That's funny. I didn't. That's hysterical.
Because it's so much fun, Chan. Get it?
Oh. On that exact note...
And you're holding...
On that exact note, I've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn. I know. But I know about the famous Selma Hayek dance, so I'm at work with my buddy, and I'm like, hey,
Santanico
Selma
Pandemonium?
Hayek, you haven't seen that scene? So I pull it up, and I'm watching it, and at the end, I don't need to tell you, you've seen it, but at the end of the movie, at the end of the scene, she drips alcohol off her leg, down her foot, into Quentin's mouth, which he then licks off her foot.
I mean, they probably didn't have anyone to do that at the set that day, so he volunteered himself.
Existed. And I shit you not, I was utterly horrified to think what the process was. It's like being like, hey, Kevin Spacey, I came up with an idea for this scene. A little boy bounces in your lap dressed like a Dutch friggin' in overalls, like he's in... Like, what? Who came up with that? Was it Rodriguez? Did Quentin suggest it?
Was that Superman Returns?
No, I'm saying, like, you know how disturbing that is? We know Quentin just gets off more than anything to foot in one of the world's hottest women. Whose idea was it that he gets to have...
his.
I'm saying, you know how...
He wrote the movie.
I was so pulled out of fetishizing Selma myself by seeing that this Emmer Effer wrote the fact that Selma Hayek sticks her foot into it. Can you imagine what it was like after they called cut and he just ran into the bathroom and furiously masturbated? It probably took 30 seconds. This isn't a bit. Everyone in the world knows Quentin fetishizes feet, and one of the world's most beautiful women ever, this sick... Okay, so I said what I thought. He said, Selma, you come up, and then you put your foot right in my mouth. Return to Sleepaway Camp. What is there to say about this? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Why did the director make this?
Should we talk about all the way Alan is abused?
The paintball, again, I feel like this isn't usually my perspective, but the paintball thing just seems needless. Like, eventually there's just 10 guys circling him and just... But dude,
I think after that, he gets the frogs skinned, thrown at him. Then after that, he gets humiliated and stripped naked or in his underwear and thrown on stage. And like that's just the first of one night of him being abused. And it's like, okay, we can endure that, but it's the fact that, okay, we want to see, even if Alan is a gross, annoying character, you at least want to see him get revenge for these people who are just relentlessly, mercilessly.
It's like spit on your grave and she comes back and she just gets raped again. You're like, that's not really... I mean, some people would probably enjoy that movie, but that's not what this movie is for. They completely ruined.
This is a spit on your grave, if then she gets revenge by somebody else.
Thank you. That was the better way. That's the way to phrase why I think this movie is so stupid. Because you had, what is it? The first 20 minutes of that is her getting brutally gang raped, and then Mateo's right. The whole reason that movie works, okay, we suffer through that because we know this woman's going to come back and just tear these people. We're going to have a cathartic effect because we watched her suffer. Mateo's right. That's how you do it. We have nothing but Alan getting crapped on with no catharsis.
With her last saying, okay, you can't just pick on random kids. Maybe the Alan thing isn't just the red herring to detract from the obvious twist of Angela being in makeup and prosthetics the entire time.
It comes out of nowhere.
But are you that stupid that you think that no one's going to be like, what's up with this cop character? On top of having a voice modulator, they're always wearing sunglasses indoors. They look like a scrawny woman.
At night.
There's a prosthetic nose. The mustache is wispy and coming off the sides
again,
like the spirit gum is
no
just
hyperbole.
melting off his
It's
face.
an Amanda Bynes all that character. No hyperbole. It's an Amanda Bynes. She comes in. She's dressed as a male cop. It is clearly Amanda Bynes. You see her thin frame. The props department didn't do a horrible job. You can clearly see it's a beard. And she speaks in like a, hey, kids, so let me help you out with your... Like, it's a friggin' all that character.
It's like the totally believable beard that Eric Bana has at the end of Hulk.
Es ya propiedad del gobierno.
Me está enojando. No le gustaría verme enojado.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about that in years, and you immediately made me jump to that.
that.
No, he made me jump to that.
When he is in the jungle or wherever he is.
All I'm thinking of is She's the Man.
Yeah, we should do that on the show. It's got Channing Tatum.
Or like...
Hey, you like Channing Tatum, don't you?
You believe that?
Sounds pretty bizarre.
Anyway,
you can't have it. I was tying that into something with this.
Who the hell knows,
I don't know. But in the words of Alan...
Your ass stinks.
How is that a catch? How is that
okay, so these two have said that our entire friendship. I never knew it. And I thought it was like, oh, I can't wait till that line drops. He says it like 10 times. Every time the kids run...
The cockatiel says it.
And it doesn't make sense. It's just like...
like your ass stinks. Yeah.
Yeah. Your eyes to see.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a very, very funny and pointed anecdote. When I was supposed to be taking college seriously, I was getting extremely involved with posting on Juggalo message boards. And as you guys might imagine,
we're filming this. Are you sure you want to continue this?
And as you might imagine, I was often a persona-based character. So
that's how I would have seen it, yeah.
So granted, Granted, there was realizing the ridiculousness of it, but I still remember when I was arguing with one person.
Oh, you were self-aware doing it.
I said, stick a banana in your ass and smell it. And the responses the people gave to me were what I would imagine you guys react to. Your ass stinks. We're like, what are you, stick a banana in your ass and smell it? Like, what are you, third grader? And that's what I kind of get.
What you're saying ironically?
I mean, I was just being stupid.
Also, we were supposed to smell the banana or the ass?
I guess either would work.
Okay.
Because it had been in there. But that the reaction they had to me using that as an insult is the same vibe I get from like, your ass stink. What? That's what you're...
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
My toes coming out.
Ew, man.
I'm sorry. They'll be thrown in the trash after this, but I said let's immortalize them first.
Mr. Tarantino, we have a mission.
That's really a disgusting thing that happened in this world. Imagine how she felt.
Feet?
Do you think she knew at the time? How you felt about feet?
I mean, yes.
It's literally like, hey man, Michael Jackson wants to produce a script, and in it Macaulay Culkin's buttocks are oiled, and he's...
I don't know if that's a little bit too on the nose.
No, it's not on the nose.
That's the thing, is that it is on the nose. That's what I'm saying.
But
is
it's at least something that would happen at a freaky bar.
Listen, it doesn't seem to me...
Macaulay Culkin having his bare ass cheeks exposed and oiled up. It's a little bit of a stretch.
So there was any challenges filming Home Alone?
Figuratively speaking, or literally as a stretch?
I guess literally, or by both.
Look, pushing the comedy aside, there's no way we can know what we know about how Quentin feels about feet and look at that scene, and you can't tell me he didn't masturbate in the bathroom afterwards.
I'm sure he came in his pants during the scene.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a joke. It actually happened. There was a time on the From Dusk Till Dawn set where Rodriguez was like, where's Quentin? And in the bathroom, he was just like,
He's going to be absent for the rest of the shoot, so let's just continue without him.
He said he only really needed to shoot that scene. He was out. He's in half of the movie.
Let's just stand in and film him from behind.
He probably still watches it to this day and jerks off.
I'm telling you for the last time, stop that noise immediately.
We'll never be able to unknow that.
Neither will you.
He's a father now.
Is he?
Yeah. I really did enjoy his book. So we're done with this piece of shit?
I think so.
I don't think we talked about anything.
No, but like the movie.
Let's express our feelings by throwing...
Wait, he was about to
Sorry,
say something.
it is just, like we said, this is the stereotypical slasher movie.
With
kids,
no slash?
Yeah, kids at a summer camp, kids at X, Y, and Z. They're messing with each other, playing pranks on each other, hooking up, even though it doesn't really happen. And then people start to get killed off.
Actually, I just thought about that. There's no hookups.
But this just seems so chaotic and pointless and stupid.
Because, as we were saying, if you give us despicable characters, give us death.
Yes, and punctuated throughout.
Yes.
Don't
and
wait till the very end.
Yeah, if you up the ante and you're like, the reason everyone's going to be despicable is because I'm going to give you like 20 gory... This could have been a masterpiece.
It's a slasher that there should be kills punctuated throughout. Carrie, you at least kind of build up to it that the grand finale is her getting her for revenge.
And like Mateo said,
it's different kind of stories. Yes, and it's not it's not like a slasher film.
Yeah.
Yes, you expect kills every couple seconds.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
I will not let you hurt Karen.
What about Karen?
I know what you did to TC and Brad.
What are you talking about?
You're mean sick. You're a monster, Alan.
Not sick.
And yes, you are!
The friar death was pretty cool.
The friar death was not...
Although, wasn't that done in...
I'm sorry?
Oh,
the friar death, there is a similar one in the first one.
Man, get the hell out of here! Man! 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 Man!
Oh, no, he's right. We got to talk about the pole. We have to talk about the pole.
It's-
the dumbest. Actually, the pole and the awful timing of the penis pull. It feels like for 5 minutes we see that rope pulling, just pulling, the twine
It is
pulling.
stretched out to unbearable lengths of just like, okay, we know what's gonna happen. Just get it over with.
Actually, I should
even
say,
just to set up to the point where there's a little noose tied around his penis or balls. He says
dick. He rips off.
Oh yeah, but he says balls or something.
Linda, goddammit, I can't fucking breathe. And you're hurting my fucking pecker.
And then it's tied. Somehow she gets to the Jeep in time before the girlfriend gets back to the Jeep.
drives
gets
a
some
mile.
beer. She gets in the car, starts driving. It's a really long string, and I guess you want that depending. But then she eventually rips the guy's dick off with the string.
look, if you were to give me...
and then she's running into
Barbed
barbed
wire.
wire, and
That
she say, "What is it? What is it? Oh, I better just not
I need to
brake."
get closer to see what it is.
She has complete control of the car and could slam on the gas. Now,
on the brakes.
On the
mostly.
brakes, sorry. Mateo highlights a great point.
I always get that
which
wrong.
is we need to talk about the spear through the hole, because I think it's literally spear came again. Play it as girl is flashing in front of the, however you want to play it.
Under
Let's
the
put our
cabin.
eyes. Let's put our eyes. Let's put our eyes. Then stab. You literally start off the scene by seeing a sharpened stick jut up through, and then no matter how much you want to make
hole into
excuses,
this weird-looking
how much you make
Probably like
excuses
a
for
wooden
dumb
cabinet
behavior,
floor.
it's literally after we see what they know is happening and they visually identify the stick still down there. It's 1 down, 2 down. You look down. Let me look again. You look again. It's just so bad.
The one thing I will say, to their credit, is that they have a sharpened stick laying on the ground.
Yes.
So when you do look down, whoever was sticking that broom through must have dropped it and run off, or they're hiding somewhere.
right.
Let me see
But
if I
you
can
do it
see
like
where
7
they are.
times.
But yes, but why would you put your face anywhere near a hole where a sharpened broomstick was just thrown through, shoved through? Plus, there's at least already been 2 deaths: the chef being burned alive in the oil, and the.
Well, the chef probably they don't know of because he got disposed into the disposing thingy
But the
machine.
kid, then again, I guess the kid could have been a freak accident smoking a
Yes.
joint next to gas cans and blew up. So I guess at that point there's no
But
malice.
is the look, there's a pole, but it's on the ground. Let me see. Yes, on the ground. Let me check again to be sure. Yes, it's on the ground.
I could forgive
Are you
one
sure
time.
it's
It's
on
like
the...
7 times.
Yes.
Now, if you gave me,
another
a
kid
shot
that goes
list,
back and forth and they start looking for it.
give me a shot list of every death in this movie. On paper, they're all pretty good. About half of them are decently executed.
The nail bed.
The nail bed was actually great.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at the execution either. Again, looking at all these on paper, they'd be good. Give these to a gourmet. Give these to like Tom Savini or like a Sam Raimi teaming up, and I think you could actually have. Every kill would be solid if they were done to the best of the ability they could be done. I like all of them conceptually, and in the second half, even if they kind of petered out with the crescendo of them, the money shot, the punctuation, I didn't mind how they were filmed. I should say that with how I say this movie's so shitty. Conceptually, the kills are good on paper. They had good ideas for what they should be, and if we had gone over the top with killing all these obnoxious characters, you might have had something even if it still sucked. If you could show me them all getting killed in halfway decent ways.
We have nothing.
This movie makes me appreciate Terrifier. Because it does what to go to Terrifier like
Makes
I'm
me
hoping
appreciate any other movie.
even better.
What?
Let's express our feelings by throwing pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's one of the rare cases where Jason was offended by a movie, and I understand Mateo's nothing to hold on to, and I hated it, and it's a slog. I'm sorry for the cursing again. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. It made a good jams, but horrible, horrible.
Ditto.
I go with...
Much worse than I remembered.
Yeah?
Yes.
How many times did you see it?
Twice.
Twice?
This will be the last. Jesus.
Oh, only not since you watched it in 2009.
Yes.
I
How'd you know
go.
it's 2009? You said it.
I go with 4.5.
Wow.
Mateo.
Because of because I love the final shot, and I love the your ass things because it's one of the stupidest things. It's an act of desperation trying to make it happen, and so you have, for instance, MILF, which is an instant success.
Dude, I took some MILF.
What the hell is that?
MILF. Mom, I'd like to fuck.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
but Your Ass Stinks.
Your Ass Stinks never really took off.
No, oddly enough, and it's
then again,
since 2008.
We use it. Conrad uses it.
Yeah.
It's always funny. You can't force fetch to happen, you know? It's so true. And when a movie does everything right, like every decision is like, wow, what a beautiful, quirky way to add to the world. And when it doesn't, man, everything just seems soaked in flop sweat.
Because the difference is that it looks like that something like MILF was, I mean, I don't know exactly the origin, how they came up with that term. If it was something known before.
If that was improv, well, that was my next question. Is that
and
if that was the genesis point, I can't think of a crazier example of a throw. Because what MILF became, it's like Coke and Pepsi.
Right.
Like it's a genre of porn. It's a T-shirt. It's a catchphrase. It's a.
This one, Your Ass Stinks. It looks like something that you sit on the chair and say, okay,
what's going to be the
big
line?
What would be a nice snide retort that it could be like a punch or something, and it doesn't work. It's not something natural that you would say.
We should look that up for the show because I'm curious. Like I said, with how big of a word, like, did it exist before? Was it improv by Cho? I certainly can't remember pre-99 if I heard it, but that word became so.
A thing that it never occurred to me, and now I will ask some friends. I never know what happened to it in Italian.
Huh.
Because clearly it's not MILF.
We got to know. We got to know.
Yeah. Coming soon, MILF in Italy.
Bella! Quella è una MILF. E che diavolo è? MIMF. Una mamma che io mi farei. Sì, l'hai detto. MILF. Oh, sì.
MaJaMa.
Your ass stinks!
Wowzers, gentlemen, ladies, boys, ghouls, goblins, vampires, and created monsters. That was another jam from our sleepover pit here on our Halloween slumber party set.
Special effects.
We hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you got your PJs and your severed feet and your skulls and your Halloween cups with little Mort in him there. That little boy there joining us always. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. We're going to be plowing ahead every week. The MaJaMa train don't stop.
Whether you like it or not.
Every Thursday, whether you like it or not, whether no one watches, whether everyone watches, whether he doesn't want to do it, whether Mateo chains himself to his desk all week so only one person can watch, whether my loud voice pops these microphones. This is what we love. We hope you guys love it too. And we are so happy to anyone who got this long in the episode. From Matthew, from Mateo, from Jason. Happy continued spooky month.
Don't rope me
and
into
we'll
this.
Be back next week from the Sleepover Pit with another spooky movie. That's a jam!
MaJaMa.
Have you seen Quentin? Quentin? You gotta shoot the scene with Selma Hayek. Quentin?
It's so much fun!